Yes, folks, hello, welcome once again to Monetary Games and Collectibles. I'm Chris, this is my channel, and it's an absolute pleasure to have you with me here today. And it is time to take a moment to take stock and look forward. Us G.I. Joe Classified Series fans have been bombarded with information sort of at the back end of 2024 into early 2025. My man Charlotte Prime, Eric, over on the Discord, dropped me a line and said, you got any predictions for 2025, or can you take a bit of stock so that we all kind of know where we're at with stuff? And I was like, yeah, you bet, man, I'm working on it right now. And then some stuff came along and I had to change it, and then some more stuff came along and I had to change it. Then there was some leaks and I had to change it. Then there was some digital renders and I had to change it. But now, right now, finally, with G.I. Joe Day done and Hasbro mentioning that there is a fan stream for G.I. Joe Classified coming up towards the back end of the month, I think I'm just in a safe enough little window to pause, have a look forward, talk about what do we actually know is coming, what's going on with the line right now, and just generally do a bit of a summary as to what we can expect in 2025. So that was a long intro, wasn't it? So I'm just looking at what's coming up in 2025, basically. Let's get into it. So as it stands right now, the pre-order list is pretty slim. I say that recognizing that there's some folks around the world who are still waiting for figures from the last wave. So you may be watching this and you could still be sitting waiting for a Dial Tone, a Leatherneck, a Saw Viper, a Xandar from the last wave. But they are kind of dripping out, shipping, being found in Targets, etc., etc. Certainly over here in the United Kingdom, we've seen them now. I've got them in hand. So this is the kind of pre-order list, you know, as it stands for everybody. This would apply to everybody, you know, and that's pretty straightforward. It's 3 retros, the retro Dr. Mindbender, the retro Rock and Roll, and the retro Viper, and then 2 mainline figures, which are, what are they called? Deluxe or whatever. I get lost in the labels, but it's the Trench Viper with the Cobra Fortification set and Heavy Duty. And that's it. It's a pretty slim, you know, pre-order list. We do know that Entertainment Earth's drop zone, where they, you know, preview or hint at upcoming pre-orders and releases, has got quite a lot of Hasbro stuff on there. We also know from the G.I. Joe Day posts from Hasbro that they're planning a G.I. Joe Classified Series fan stream at some point this month. I mentioned this in the intro. So there's some speculation and assumption that some of these Hasbro pre-orders that are on the Entertainment Earth drop zone align to the fan stream, and that some stuff's going to be opened up and made available at that point. But currently, as it stands, this is what, you know, Shooting the Galaxy has had in hand and taken pictures of, and, you know, it's gone up on Hasbro Pulse and been made available for pre-order. So that's where we're at with that. What we have got right now, though, is an absolute bucket ton of digital renders. With the convention season through the summer and into the autumn, there was lots of presentations and panels, you know, revealing digital renders. And then we had G.I. Joe Day just last week, where another handful, or more than a handful, of digital renders were revealed. And so there's a lot out there that we've had a peek at from the digital render sort of phase of the rollout. And this is just the first slide. I've got 3 slides worth to rattle through here now. So we've got the All Striker and Crankcase, we've got Blowtorch, we've got the Claw. That was revealed ages ago. I've not seen or heard nothing on that front in a donkey's age. Darklon there, that was one of the ones from the, along with All Striker from the G.I. Joe Day reveals. Footloose, we've got the Frag Viper there. And just as a little side note, I'll mention this a couple of times as we go along, we have also seen kind of factory mock-up leaks of Darklon, Blowtorch, and the Frag Viper from this page as well. So they're definitely in production, you know, moving forward. Rattling on to page 2, the top row is still kind of mainline stuff. You've got Law and Order there. You've got the Slice and Dice double pack and the Snake Armor. Then on the second row here, we've got the digital renders of some of the next retro wave, which is CoverGirl, Flint, and the Tele Viper. And again, as far as sort of backdoor East Asia factory leaks goes, we've seen in-hand reveals from Jay Khan's 7 and Nathan, whatever his name is, of Law and Order, Slice and Dice, CoverGirl, Flint, and Tele Viper from this page. So the only thing we haven't seen a sneaky pre-PCAP is the snake armor there, which again implies that they're in production, the wheels are in motion. We obviously know from some comments that Emily made at one of the conventions, I want to say MCM London, it was brought up, might have been New York Comic Con, I forget, but being mindful of the fact that they pointed out that there will potentially be production delays. It's not really marrying up with the leaks that we're seeing, but this is page 2, so there's some more main lines and so the next retro wave. And then we've got some subline kind of stuff here. We've got the Mass Device set in the top row there with the Snake Eyes and Polar Bear, with the Breaker, and then what's now affectionately referred to as the Condiment Divers set, the tomato sauce and mustard guys. But these three give us all three of the component parts of the Mass Device, the heavy water, the radioactive dust, and the meteor rock. Have I remembered that right? And then on the bottom row there, we've got the Legacy Firefighter, kind of the spiritual successor of the 60th anniversary line. They've mentioned that there's more Legacy stuff to come this year, but all we've seen to date is the Firefighter that I've got up on screen there. So speculate away as to what might be coming in the Legacy line. They did say on the stream that it was going to be first responder stuff, so who knows? One would assume that with a fan stream coming up in February that something from these digital renders will be revealed in hand, I would have thought. I don't know whether they'll have any kind of sideline surprises, but you would assume that something from this digital render selection would be what we see. The Claw Viper would be a good candidate because we've not seen or heard nothing about that in ages. But with the leaks that we've seen of a number of these, the Firefighter on this slide, for example, has been seen. Like I say, Law and Order, Slice and Dice, all three of these retros have been seen. Blowtorch, the Frag Viper, Dark Line on this slide, all have been seen. That is likely it might be something off that kind of the way you marry up the renders to the leaks list. And then finally, in terms of things we know, there have been some more name-only reveals and some further leaks. So in terms of the name-only list, we've got the Snake Eyes version 4 confirmed out the mouths of Hasbro, and then we've got the Crystal Ball, again confirmed out the mouths of Hasbro. On screen right now, you can see that there's also a Crystal Ball leak, again came out the back door, or from somewhere, from that Nathan dude, which was shared by the Full Force podcast there. So we know about the name onlys, but further to that, in terms of leaks, we've also seen a retro bat leaked image on screen right now. We've also seen what's assumed to be a green shirt figure, possibly in the retro line, which is on screen right now. And then Diagnostic 80, Chris over at the Full Force podcast revealed that the Snake Eyes version 4 wave of 4 figures in the main line is also going to include Monkey Wrench, Sci-Fi, and the Night Viper. And Chris has proven himself to be a reliable source on stuff like that. He's got good lines of contact, communication with the team over in Hasbro. So further to all those digital renders, we've also got some name-only reveals and some leaks that, we know about for sure, or at least from reliable sources. And that's it. That is what we know with regards to 2025. There is an absolute shit ton of rumours knocking around. I'll touch on those for a moment, but that's the confirmed stuff. That's what we have seen renders for, seen leaks for, or had confirmed from Hasbro themselves or from a reliable source like Chris over at the Full Force podcast. So it's not looking all that bad, is it? If there are production delays, that will be a little bit frustrating if we can pre-order some of this stuff that we've seen at digital render, but it takes an absolute lifetime to get here. It'll be a little bit frustrating, but it's not too bad. The pre-order list as it stands right now is pretty shallow, but overall, if I count my list, that's 23 figures right now at the early part of the year that we know about, As far as rumours go, there's loads of unconfirmed stuff out there. There's speculation about another HasLab this year, another G.I. Joe HasLab. And then just to list off some of the things that have been floating around, I caught wind of most of these in places like Reddit and HissTank. Destro with a despoiler, another Polar Bear battle set of some description, a Psych Out, a new version of Firefly on the way, Airtight, some more Iron Grenadier stuff with a Baroness, a Voltar, and an Iron Grenadier version of Darklon, a Cobra Royal Guard, as depicted in the background of the picture on Nemesis Immortal's render on the back of the packet, and along with that, Pythona and Globulus have been speculated about and are rumoured to be happening this year. Retro Major Blood's been knocking around. A Retro Zarana, I think I heard. The Full Force podcast maybe had mentioned at some point. There was a reveal of a Desert Scorpion at one point, and I think that came from fucking Diaper Island, though, so how reliable that is. But that's been kind of whispered on the wind for a long time. And of course, I think folks, there's rumours about Mainframe, Lifeline, getting some more of these kind of main characters, Flash, it gets you finish your OG-13 and those types of things. I don't know if that's maybe just sort of wish fulfillment projection in there, but they've been knocking around. But these are all from unconfirmed sources. Like I say, picking them up. Like some guy on Reddit says he knows the brother of the sister of the husband of the mother of a guy who works in the factory who saw a drawing that Lenny did. Kind of thing. So proceed with caution, when it comes to rumours of this nature. But it looks like we've got a good, solid, exciting year ahead of us for 2025 when it comes to G.I. Joe. So let me know in the comments down below what's on your wish list, what out of all that stuff has got you excited. Have I missed something? It comes thick and fast, flying from all sorts of different directions. There's a good chance I've missed something. I try to keep good records for the channel, but don't always nail it. But yeah, let me know if there's anything I've missed, if there's anything you're particularly excited for, any rumours you've heard about. I'll probably post this video and a leak will turn up on Facebook an hour later. So, that's the way of things. But there we are. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you see you around these parts again sometime soon for another video. But in the meantime, have a great day. And yo, Joe.